Now, one thing that's great about Leah Remini is that she has not gone easy on David, the leader of the church, or Tom Cruise. He's pretty much second in line to lead this cult, which scares me. Leah actually shared this retweet on her Twitter, and in this post, they really are dragging Tom because Tom is still a working actor. Claire Headley writes, "Glad all you Top Gun fans are enjoying the new movie. Personally, recent posts about this new movie only serve to remind me of Tom Cruise and his extreme crimes against humanity. Extreme, you may think. Destroying families is a crime against humanity. Ask yourself, when is the last time Tom talked to his only biological daughter, Suri? He doesn't. Remember Katie Holmes and her extreme efforts to break free from his and the church's control?" She continues, "Tom Cruise promotes a dangerous cult that destroyed my family too. The same cult that almost cost me my marriage and my life. The same cult that forced me to have 2 abortions. Oh my gosh. Which I fled from in 2005 with the clothes on my back and $200 in my pocket, to which they tracked me down across state lines and tried to prevent my escape. Thank God they failed. So no, I will not watch this movie or ever support or approve of this scam of a man. Trust me, Tom Cruise knows exactly who he's supporting and what's going on in that organization. I worked with him while I was there. No doubt my post will likely disappear with the Facebook algorithms. I feel better saying it nonetheless." So that's how I feel about this video too, girl. You can't say the S word. Which makes me wonder, like, does YouTube have I think they've infiltrated every aspect, like the government, the entertainment industry. There's a lot of them everywhere and a lot of different kinds of people. This person wrote, "When I saw what he did to Katie Holmes and how she literally had to plan her and her daughter's escape from him and his cult and control, I lost all respect for Tom Cruise. I will not support him at all by watching his movies or contributing to his net worth." Leah Remini said that she was given psychological punishments and detained for 4 months at the church for asking questions about the missing wife of the church leader, David. So David's, I guess, wife went missing? Is that another video? A source talked about the current volatile situation and how Tom Cruise would be involved in this ordeal. Quote, "I think that Leah will call Tom to be a witness. She claims that she was after his wedding, so why wouldn't she call him? He's a part of this." And that's because she actually went on to go and sue, the church for harassment and everything they've done to her. So, if she gets it into court, then, Tom may have to come on as a witness.
For 6 years, I tried to stay in. I was being punished. I was considered an enemy. And then they started to work on my family. They told us not to talk to each other. And I said, well, this doesn't work for us anymore.
Do you think he will ever leave the church?
I hope so, because people who knew Tom before he was fully brainwashed say that he was a sweet and loving person. And he's turned into something else, something unrecognizable to people who have known him.
Now, Leah has done a lot of talking about Tom Cruise. I guess she spent a lot of time with him. And in her memoir, she said that he would shout at assistants while baking cookies. She said on one occasion she saw Tom Cruise shouting at assistants because he wanted to make cookies but couldn't find the prepackaged cookie dough, which also, okay, people are allowed to yell sometimes. But I guess he probably really yelled at them, and that's why it's stuck in our memory. He said, "Guys, where's the cookie stuff? God damn it. Can I just get the stuff for cookies, guys? Get in the effing present time. That's what you need to do." Now, I think the cookies are probably the least of my concerns out of this video. I do get concerned with how much the church is involved in his life. Watching them tear apart his relationships. And supposedly now the church calls people on to audition as the role of his wife. Now they're doing a casting call. If you want to be his wife, we will interview you and see if you're worthy. I guess there's a story reported by Vanity Fair, and they allege that Shelley Miscavige, the wife of the leader, David, was tasked with finding an ideal girlfriend for Tom Cruise. Quote, "Keeping Tom Cruise happy is a priority for the church. When Tom is in need of a new love interest, the church reportedly recruited a young member for the job. They gave her a makeover to Tom's specifications, and then the church actually broke up with her for him when he was tired of her." So not only did they hire a young girl to be his, a member of the church, obviously, to be his girlfriend, they changed her to his liking. And then when he got tired of her, the church let her know that she will be, no longer needed. When this ex-girlfriend told a friend what happened to her, the church reportedly sentenced her to months of mental labor and punishment. Supposedly, when the audition took place, all these actresses who were already members of the group thought they were getting together for an audition for a training film. But instead, they were asked questions like, what do you think of Tom Cruise? Actually, an actress named Nazanin Bondai, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, was actually chosen as a frontrunner. Supposedly, she went through daily audits for months and was forced to disclose everything about herself, including every detail of her life, to the church, I guess, to get approved for Tom. She was eventually chosen to go on a date with Tom in November 2004, but not before reportedly being told to remove her braces, darken her hair, and to break up with her boyfriend. She also had to sign a number of confidentiality agreements, but their romance fell apart very quickly 2 months later in January 2005. Reportedly, he broke up with her because she just didn't have enough power, like enough influence to be his girlfriend. Around the same time this was going on, Tom actually fired his longtime Hollywood publicist, allegedly because she told him to stop talking about the church so much when he was on, publicity tours, like talking about his movies. But because she told him not to talk about his church and his true passion, he fired her and brought on his sister, who's part of the church, to manage his image instead. As Tom became more and more involved in the church, the media started to pick up on it and talk about it and talk about how bizarre it was. And he tried to defend it, but it seemed like he was just so defensive against everyone's criticism. So he didn't really sell it to anyone. Like, he didn't make the church seem more likable. I mean, quite the opposite.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself just, and it's something that you have to earn. And because just does. He or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions. Being a psychologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them. Being a psychologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help.
You know you could be the only one to help. That's that weird mentality where it's like they are just inherently better than us. I mean, so much better that he's tried to brainwash some of his other children. I mean, Katie Holmes really saved their daughter by avoiding the church and them, sharing custody. Because when Tom and Nicole Kidman were married, they adopted 2 children, Isabella and Connor. And when they split, Tom did his best to convince them to cut their mother out of their lives. Quote, Tom made the decision to disconnect from Nicole and have his children disconnected, claiming that Isabella and Connor were not given a choice about the church or school or disconnecting from their mother. They added that Tom brainwashed them and that in their eyes, Nicole is what, their church calls a meat body. She's not really their mother. She's just a bad person. They added that those kids have grown up without choices. They're being used as leverage for the church and it's not right. Which is insane to me because this guy is seriously the worst father. Actually, in 2018, R Online reported that Connor was being groomed to be the perfect church member while living in a hotel that the organization owned that's under constant surveillance. Quote, they'll have him on course and doing some auditing. He can't go out and party and drink. He'll be on vitamins and juices. As for Isabella, she was starring in a promotional video for the church, encouraging members to intern as auditors at the church's London branch. Quote, I became that annoying girl in the org who would just talk endlessly about how incredible training is and how phenomenal the internship is. Thank you to my dad for everything, Isabella says. Now, just a quick mention of Leah Remini. I mean, I know she says that Tom was known to be a sweet guy before he became brainwashed, and maybe that's true, bless her heart, but there are some things that he has done and said that are just straight up he's a jerk. Like the time he criticized Brooke Shields' battle with postpartum depression. In 2005, she revealed that when she gave birth to her daughter in 2003, she had to use therapy and antidepressants to cope with postpartum. I have never been pregnant. I never will be pregnant, and I don't know what that would feel like. And it's something I feel like I have no opinion on. Of course, I would be supportive of someone going through postpartum depression because as a man, how could I know better? But what's the theme of this video, guys? Tom Cruise, he knows better. For whatever reason, Tom Cruise felt like he wanted to comment on the matter, and he said that when someone says medication has helped them, it's to cope. It didn't cure anything. There is no science. There is nothing that can cure them whatsoever. I care about Brooke Shields because I think she's a talented woman, but look at where her career has gone. Ooh. Psychiatry is a pseudoscience, and all that medication does is mask the problem. It's so interesting that he calls this a pseudoscience, actual medicine and neurotransmitters in the brain, because he is participating in a true pseudoscience, if you even want to call it science.
Here we are today, where I talk out against drugs and psychiatric abuses of electric shocking people, okay, against their will, of drugging children with them not knowing the effects of these drugs. Do you know what Adderall is? Do you know Ritalin? All it does is mask the problem, Matt. And if you understand the history of it, it masks the problem. There is no such thing as a chemical imbalance. So in a body, there's ways of vitamins and through exercise.
I mean, I wish vitamins and exercise would solve all my problems, but it doesn't. Brooks said that comments like those made by Tom Cruise are a disservice to mothers everywhere. If any good can come from Tom's ridiculous rant, let's hope that it gives much needed attention to a serious disease. She adds that Tom should stick to saving the world from aliens and let women who are experiencing postpartum depression decide what treatment options are best for them. Go ahead, Brooke Shields. Like, that's what's right. You know, I'm a man. I'm not here to tell you guys, like, as a same thing with, like, not to get like off topic, but you guys know, like, abortion, things like, I understand people can have feelings about it, but I also recognize, like, I'm a man. I'll never be in that position. Like, why would I, like, how could I say no? Like, you know, it's just so bizarre to me. Like, Tom, you have no authority there. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.